disease can attack you at any moment without any warning. There was no way of knowing what disease you are more likely to acquire. However, lately scientists developed even more the technology to look into our genes, and now they are able to identify disease genes, which can tell what disease a person has a high chance of getting.
Recent studies done in different laboratories by recognized scientists have shown that by studying a person's gene, they can predict which diseases you may have in the future or which diseases you are less or more immune to.
These studies can also prevent some mortal diseases before even knowing that you have them. Also, having these studies can help you live a better life and not to pass the disease to your children.
Besides, knowing what disease you have can be of much help because you will be only taking the necessary medicines and not going around from doctor to doctor identifying your illness. Now, let's go more into detail about what did they discover, what technology was involved, why this technology matters, and the genetics behind it.
We all know that genes will determine our appearance, personality, and our gender. And now scientists studying genetics have also found that looking at the genes, you may predict the diseases that you will get.
But what are genes and how does it determine almost everything about us? Well, genes are the materials that carry instructions that determine how we develop. Every cell in our bodies has a chromosome, and in these chromosomes there are genes.
When the sperm cell fertilizes the egg cell or ova, you inherit half of your father's chromosome and half of your mother's chromosomes. When the two halves of chromosome combine, you inherit the dominant allele, or variation of genes unless both your parents have recessive alleles, and this will define most of your physical features of your body.
The bad news is that you won't only inherit physical features of your parents, but diseases too. So if either of your parents have a disease gene, you would have a 50-50 chance of inheriting the disease gene too.
And therefore, if you have a certain disease, it is highly probable that either of your parents also have that disease. Also, if you have a disease gene, you have a 50-50 chance of passing the disease to your children. And now, with the new discovery, you can be aware of your disease gene and know that your children have a 50% chance of inheriting your disease gene, and be ready to test and help your children if they did inherit the disease.
Surprisingly, scientists found alleles, which are different versions of genes which increase the probability that a person will get a certain disease.
These pictures show the chromosomes with the genes that are linked to the heart disease. As you may see, a person without the disease doesn't have the line that shows the location of the disease gene.
This other set of chromosomes show the location of genes that are found in people with type 1 diabetes. The lines show the disease genes that cause this certain disease. And just like with the chromosome related with the heart disease case, the genes in people without type 1 diabetes doesn't show the line.
These studies were going to give scientists results of multifactorial disease, like heart diseases, diabetes type 1 and 2, inflammatory bowel disease, high blood pressure, rheumatoid arthritis, and bipolar disorders. This research consisted of taking a sample of 2,000 patients and 3,000 people without the disease. Then they compared the location of genes in chromosomes in patients with the disease and in people without the disease.
All the diseases above are multifactorial, which means that it is caused by genetics and environmental factors. Therefore, you have a chance of getting this disease even if you test negative for a disease gene.
On the other hand, if you get negative results for a disease that is only caused by genetics, like the Huntington disease, you have absolutely no chance of getting the disease. This technology is also useful for diseases caused only by environmental or lifestyle factors, such as skin cancer and AIDS. Studying your genes with this method, you may know how immune or not you are to certain disease. The discovery made by these scientists is very important, as it could make your life better, as doctors could advise people with the disease about lifestyle to make them less likely to get the disease.
And now we will go to reporter Ray William Johnson, who is in the laboratories where this impressive discovery was made. Mr. Johnson.
Thank you. At this moment, I'm standing in the room where some of the brightest minds of the world gather and discover the relationship between diseases and genes. Here I'm with Dr. Kim, one of the people who helped with the investigation. Hello, Dr. Kim. How do you think this discovery will help people?
Well, we believe that these discoveries will help us develop new treatments. Many of the diseases are very common. However, we don't know how to prevent them, and now we are another step closer.
Wow, that may be the ray of hope for many people. Dr. Kim, if you are tested positive for a disease gene, is there a 100% probability you get the disease and die?
Not at all. If you get positive results for disease gene, the risk is only between 1.2 and 1.5 times higher than for those who get negative results.
If that is true, how could getting the test help the people of today?
Well, early identification of people with these genes could save hundreds of lives. We could help by advising about lifestyle to make them less likely to get the disease.
Yeah, and now with this discovery, we will have more treatment available. How do you young people will respond in a negative way?
Young people may think it's okay to have an unhealthy lifestyle if they think this research would lead to miracle cures in the future.
Thank you for your valuable time, Dr. Kim.
Oh no, thanks to you. Now people are going to be more aware of our discovery.
Back to you, Mr. Brown.
Thank you. And now we'll be going with Marcus Bryan, who is interviewing the counselor to find out some of the negative effects of this discovery.
Here I am with the counselor, Miss Seymour. Good morning, Miss Seymour. Please tell me, what is some of the negative effects that this discovery will bring?
A negative effect is that a person might want their partner to get a genetic test for any diseases before having a children. So there will be a lot of broken relationships.
Oh, I see. And how do you think it will affect normal employers?
I believe that discrimination will begin as employers and insurance companies will want genetic test result, and if you get positive results.
Oh, I see. The point in that big employer and insurance companies wouldn't want people with disease as they might lose their money. Thank you.
As you may see, this discovery will bring positive effects, but like with most things, it also brings negative things.
Next, after the commercials, we'll be having a reportage on the new discovery of element 117. Thank you.